A Savage Joy, a science fiction audio short by Wormhole Dreams. Copyright 2024 Wormhole Dreams, all rights reserved.
I fired the braking thrusters, feeling the familiar hum of the engines as the ship began to burn through the atmosphere. The cockpit's display painted a vivid picture of the planet below, shades of blues and greens obscured by swathes of swirling white clouds. I've seen hundreds of planets in my time, but this one, with its promise of peace or peril, had my heart thrumming with a unique anticipation. Entry log, CD 5074.5.2. I spoke into the ship's recorder, my voice steady despite the surge of adrenaline. Ambassador Jaxon Reid here. I'll be touching down on Valtor III within the hour. The ship jostled gently as it broke through atmosphere with a melody of mechanical whir. My fingers moved over the console, piloting with the ease of long practice. Throughout the journey, I've spent considerable time reflecting on the task ahead. Negotiating peace between the Crinith and the Valaris is no small feat. A smile crept across my lips, born from the wellspring of optimism that had carried me across the stars. But today, we stand on the precipice of history. Today, we turn the tide away from war. Let the record show my enthusiasm has not waned during transit. If anything, it's grown. The possibility of saving an entire civilization from the brink. There's no greater calling for an ambassador of Earth. I'm ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead, to extend the hand of peace. There was an eerie silence as I made my way through the thick atmosphere. The peace delegation had not yet contacted me. However, my instructions were very clear to not initiate contact or run scans on the planet's surface, but to land and wait for contact. So I remained silent. Contrary to the silence, this planet hummed with the energy of a story untold. The Crinith and the Valaris, with their ancient grievances, are about to turn a new page, and I am the author chosen by Earth to write this chapter of peace. My hand hovered over the device, pausing to find the words that would encapsulate the gravity of this moment. I've spent the journey revising my proposals, strategies, and speeches. Now it's time to put them into action. To speak, not just with words, but with the conviction that peace is not only necessary, it's achievable. I paused the recorder and took a deep breath, letting the air fill my lungs, savoring the anticipation of the diplomatic dance to come. Each step forward was a step toward destiny. Valtor III, your history has been written in the ink of discord and the blood of your children, I whispered to the empty expanse before me, a promise carried on the wind. But today, I offer you a pen filled with hope and a parchment prepared for peace. May you accept this gift from Earth, and may we celebrate the dawn of a new era together. With that, I set course toward the meeting point, my spirit buoyed by dreams of harmony and the belief that even the deepest chasms of enmity could be bridged with perseverance and passion. This was my mission, my purpose, and I would see it through with every fiber of my being. Grains of sand, fine as dust from ancient tombs, swirled around my ship as I gently landed at the designated negotiation site. Each grain was a silent witness to centuries of strife, and with every step, they whispered tales of a planet teetering on the brink of calamity. Log entry, Valtor III. Day 1, I said softly, activating the voice recorder embedded in my suit's wristband. There's an ominous stillness here that belies the tempest brewing just beyond the horizon. The two factions, the Crinith and the Valaris, have fortified their resolve with arsenals that could shatter moons. They've been locked in a toxic embrace for generations, each claiming holy righteousness, yet both steeped in fear. Fear of loss, fear of the other's god, fear that peace would strip them of their identity. I paused, surveying the empty landscape that stretched to the edges of perception. I could see the ruins of what once might have been a thriving metropolis lay scattered, now nothing more than a graveyard of ambition and pride. Based on my knowledge of this planet, there were many cities that had faced total destruction from hundreds of years of war, so the sight before me was not remarkable. Neither side has shown willingness to yield or even discuss terms. It's as if the very concept of peace is anathema to their existence, and the weapons. The Earth Alliance wasn't exaggerating. Intelligence reports detail armaments capable of fracturing this world, let alone threatening the balance of power in our corner of the galaxy. If one were to emerge victorious, what then? A conqueror birthed from the ashes of their own home, eyes set upon new horizons. I let out a sigh. My breath momentarily paused. The recorder blinked patiently, awaiting continuation. Still, we cannot abide by the spectre of unchecked aggression. The stakes extend well beyond this desolate sphere. Valtor III could become a fulcrum, tipping the scales toward a darkness that no starlight can penetrate. It's imperative I succeed, for the sake of both these people and the fragile peace we've nurtured among the stars. The weight of my task felt like gravity itself, anchoring me with a responsibility that was both exhilarating and daunting. But hesitation was a luxury I couldn't afford. Today, I am both an envoy and a shield. I carry humanity's hope in my heart, but also its determination in my stance. We've seen the horrors of war, the scars it leaves on worlds and souls alike. I've come to offer an alternative, a path away from annihilation and towards coexistence. May the leaders of the Crinith and Valoris see reason before their hands are forced by the terrible tools at their disposal. May they understand that true strength lies not in the ability to destroy, but in the courage to preserve. I clicked off the recorder, the finality of the click echoing in my ears. With grim determination, I climbed out of the cockpit. The hatch hissed open with a reluctant groan, and I stepped onto the observation deck of my ship. My boots clanked against the metal floor, the only sound in the heavy silence that filled the chamber. The planet loomed ahead, its surface a tapestry of charred browns and blacks, visible even through the thick cloud cover wrought by fires that must have raged like an inferno unleashed. I approached the large viewing window, my breath fogging up the transparent material as I peered closer, searching for any sign of life, any hint of movement that might contradict the bleak vista before me where a city once inhabited by 10 million Crinith once stood. Had the Valaris already destroyed them? Had war broken out without a thought for the upcoming peace talks? Ignoring my instructions not to scan the planet, I went to the nearby console and ran a full surface scan for life signs. In 30 seconds, the computer responded,
"No life forms detected."
Impossible, I thought. I ran the scan again, but there was nothing. Only the stark reality that the Crinith and Valaris had followed through on their threats, turning their once vibrant world into a graveyard. A sick feeling rose in my gut as I realized the enormity of what had occurred. They had annihilated each other completely. Not a single structure seemed to stand amidst the ruins. No survivors wandered the desolate landscape that stretched out beneath me. It was as if the very essence of life had been vaporized, leaving behind a silent testament to the folly of war. My heart sank. A weighty stone dropped into the depths of despair. So many lives extinguished. So many dreams unfulfilled. The beauty of this world, its cultures and histories, all lost in the radioactive winds that now swept across its barren face. And yet, there was a part of me, a pragmatic whisper in the back of my mind, that couldn't help but feel a grim sense of relief. Those devastating weapons, the ones we'd feared could one day be turned towards Earth or our allies, were no longer a threat. In their mutual destruction, the Crinith and Valoris had inadvertently assured the safety of the neighboring systems. But at what cost? I placed my hand against the cool glass, staring out at the devastation. My reflection stared back at me, a ghostly overlay on the scorched planet beyond. An envoy of peace who arrived too late, witness to a self-inflicted apocalypse. "Computer," I said, my voice steady despite the turmoil inside. "Begin recording for the ship's log." The soft beep acknowledged my command, waiting for me to impart words that felt hollow in the face of such loss. "Arrival at destination confirmed," I started, pausing as I searched for the right way to convey the gravity of it all. "Negotiation is not possible. There are no survivors. The conflict has ended, not with reconciliation, but with mutual annihilation. The threat these weapons pose to the region is nullified, not by diplomacy, but by complete eradication of both parties involved." I took a deep breath, holding it in an attempt to steady the tremor of emotion threatening to break through. End of log. I turn away from the window, the charred landscape etching itself into my memory. My fingers find the console, its surface cold and unyielding, much like the resolve of the now extinct races I had hoped to reconcile. The silence of the ship wraps around me, a stark contrast to the silent screams that must have echoed through the planet's atmosphere in its final moments. "Computer, one final log entry. my voice carrying a weight that seems to echo in the emptiness of space.
Recording.
The computer responds, its tone devoid of the gravity of the situation. Many years ago, a very wise man once told me, "Only a fool wants war. But once a war starts, then it cannot be fought half-heartedly. It cannot even be fought with regret, but must be waged with a savage joy." This is what a savage joy looks like. End log.
A Savage Joy, a science fiction audio short by Wormhole Dreams. Copyright 2024 Wormhole Dreams, all rights reserved.